Yo, yo, yo. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? You know what it is. It's Werds Illah, aka Drew Skills, aka Ill doing it too. And this is the Werds Illah podcast. Okay, guys. Today, fellas, women, I'm sorry, I didn't mean just generalize and put everybody as guys. But I am here today, this episode. This is gonna be one of the guest appearances for the month. I'm sure I'm gonna have at least maybe one more. But today I have a good friend of mine, a brother, a guy who's been in music for quite some time, who has done a myriad of things, man. He started out early on producing, and that's been what he's still been doing to this day. Every day, I feel like I hear from him. He's telling me about new stuff he's got done or that he's working on. He's got a YouTube channel right now that you guys need to make sure that you check it out. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. It's called Super Obvious, spelled just like that. His name is DIzz Da Rockstar. He is here today with us. DIzz, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, Werds Illah? Thanks for having me on your podcast, man.
Yeah, man, of course. You know, we go back, man. This is like our third, fourth time or something. Some stuff we've done we didn't even put out, just through trial and error, trying to figure out new things. But yeah, man. What's going on, man? How you been, man? What's up, man?
Well, first off, thank you very much. That's a hell of an intro, man.
I mean, you know, we could have gone longer, I'm sure, but you know,
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
We have a lot to talk about, you know. So I didn't want to waste too much time, but yeah. As of right now, DIzz, the motherfucking rock star. What is your channel up to, man? I know I've been watching it, man. You know, how's Super Obvious, man? What's been going on?
Yeah, the channel, it's growing. I'm around 670-ish subscribers.
Y'all hear that?
Of course, it's not as super big numbers as someone else that has like thousands and thousands, of 50s of thousands, hundreds of thousands, 1.2 million. It's not there yet.
Hey, man, but that's the grind, though. That's the grind, man. And we talk about it all the time about, you know, staying consistent, because that's what sets you apart, you know. And at this point, man, he's probably 300 plus, if not more, videos in. He's putting out consistent material like every single week. So that's the grind right there. You know, the numbers, I think, are like, that's reflective of just, you know, connections you might make, you know. So through, like, let's go ahead and dive right into it. The opportunity with this company called, what is it, Ugratone?
Yeah.
Ugratone. So tell us a
if
little
you know,
bit about that.
Yeah, if you know some of my style of music, I make almost a little bit of everything: hip hop, rock, EDM, soundtrack style, like all different types of stuff.
Yep.
And I reached out to them because I was going through online shopping, trying to find drums and sounds, because as a music producer, that's something that I'm always doing. Like, I may not make a beat today, but I'll spend half the day just getting new VSTs.
Exactly.
Sometimes I have to pay for them, and that's always hard.
Yeah.
And but I reached out to Ugratone because they are a rock-based internet page, and they have rock VSTs, they have rock drums. I think the first one I got was this VST that was only $5, and it has all these retro video games, like I'm talking about, like Nintendo sounding.
Oh, snap.
I mean, and especially with that retro sound, you can't really find all that stuff everywhere.
No.
It's becoming a little bit more available now, but it's still kind of scarce. So I got a VST. It was $5. I like the product. The first drum kit I got from them was about $5, and it has a whole bunch of presets, and the quality service was really good. At first I couldn't get the download to work, and I hit them up, telling them, like, hey, I know it's not working, and they hit me back like the next day and just gave me a new link. I didn't have to prove I bought it. They were really cool.
Wow, that's good. Good customer service.
Yeah, good customer service, good product. That already is very appreciative. So eventually they were responding, and they kind of hinted at, like, yeah, you know, if you're like a vlogger or a blogger, or you do anything online, you know, we have product that we can basically just give you, and without them having to explain a whole lot, I already kind of got what they were saying. I just responded. I was like, yeah, I'm actually a YouTuber, and I'm on Instagram, and, you know, I'm not like super big or nothing like that yet, but I upload stuff all the time, and if you hook me up with some drums, I will make a beat live and, you know, shout them out, like, and let them know, or let my followers know, like, hey, I like this, I like that. So it's something that we can kind of both benefit from.
Absolutely.
So what they did was they gave me this voucher To what I basically did was I went overboard with it. I pretty much went on the website. I downloaded and put every single thing that I thought even looked kind of cool into my cart.
Right.
The total was about almost $700. I put in this code that they gave me specifically. So when I download it, I'm going to pay $0 and 0 cents.
See, that's the game, like we were just saying, you know, through these connections with people, eventually over time, by virtue of you just being who you are and doing what you do, consistency, you gain this network of people that they'll be able to have a catalog of things to look at and understand, like, okay, he is serious. Like, so even with them not seeing it, they took that your initiative was enough for them, you know? And so that's a big part of anything. Growing a business is about, you know, taking that risk and being the one to like go out on a limb and, you know, not even go out on a limb, but just, you know, you have to sell yourself, you know, and when you connect with people that you already have a like mind with, they're not going to question too much, because they're going to be like, well, if you came to me, you obviously want something or think like I do. So it's like, let's trade off. And
what you just said a second ago, I think that's pretty much what it was. It's, you know, me hitting them up and them actually responding, you know, actually engaging back and forth, and it not taking forever. That's already a plus. And I don't honestly know how big they are, but they seem like they're kind of like mid-level. Like they haven't blown up, like, you know, the whole world doesn't know what their name is. Right. And if I just explain some of the stuff that I'm doing, like, well, you know, my channel has like 700 people, or my, you know, followers on Instagram, I have a couple hundred, but I upload all the time. Just knowing that you're serious, that's enough for them to like, you know what, we don't know this person, but maybe we'll take a little chance on them.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, when you're talking about my channel earlier, was my growth is pretty good, because not even a year and a half ago, I hit that little milestone. Oh, I got my first 200 subscribers. And on that level, that's like the first one. It's like first you get 200, then it's 500, then it's 1,000, then it's 5,000.
Exactly.
Like, so it's growing. And just when people keep seeing that I upload for the most part several times a week, and there's versatility in what I make, I should make a little something for everyone without it being so thinned out where it's like, okay, you know, this person, you know, he drops one video out of every 50 that I think is kind of okay. I mean, by now you kind of know my main go-to stuff, so I should have you, like, you know, interested in some way or another if you've ever found my page or whatever. But yeah, when you collab with people, man, that's when you're on another level of starting to get like endorsements or advertisements. Like, you know, they might, you know, when I make this video using their sounds, they might show a lot of their people, and it'll just kind of start having that snowball effect from there. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. That cross branding, and that's where again, since if they're such a fresh company and, you know, they've got such a good decent start for what they got, they can see you can be on the same path as them, so they understand that the value in that is like, we are going to trade off with each other. You know, I'm going to rub off on you and vice versa, and my fans now become your fans and vice versa. So again, it's an even trade, and that's how the system is supposed to work. Like, just like how we were talking about when we were downstairs watching some of that wrestling, about how AEW is so welcoming of having these other companies come in and have their wrestlers be there. It's like, that's how the companies are going to have to start operating. Like, these bigger companies, if you don't allow for independent companies or smaller companies who are on the rise to start to you know, do business with you and start this cross branding and this welcoming atmosphere, you know, you could lose potential long-term customers, and you could lose potential growth that you could be having, because, you know, everybody's going to have the chance there's enough room for everybody. I think people start to believe like, oh, there's only but so many spaces for people. Like, there's only the number 1 spot, the 2 spot, the 3 spot, the 4. Then after that, you don't matter. Or it's like, I think people have it mixed up. Like, there may be some companies who, just virtue of their consistency and how well they service their customers or their fan base or whatever, they could just be on the rise to outdoing you. So I think some big companies are feeling threatened because they're not trying to grow.
Oh yeah, especially, I mean, like with wrestling, unfortunately, with the global crisis that we have going on, it's probably a better time than ever for everyone to kind of try to work with each other, because instead of all of us being separate and all having our little bit of fans that we still have, we should all get together to actually keep this kind of thing going.
Right. It's bigger than just one company. It's bigger than just one person. It's bigger than just somebody being the top of the heap and, oh, I'm the guy who leads this. I'm the one who runs this. It's like that. that's again, that's an old model. That's an old model, and truthfully, it was never really a good model, but it was just a model that worked for so long, and it's been what's everybody known. So, you know, it's scary when we're in a place where there's people who want new things, and these older ways are so deeply like woven into everybody's idea of how companies are supposed to operate. Like, there has to be a top. There has to be like the best. It's like
Yeah.
that idea is only stagnating people. It's keeping people in this one place where, so there's like this gatekeeper and or somebody, and it's like that's dead. Like that's gotta like
Yeah, when people who have that kind of mindset, especially business or when you're trying to grow something, like everything you just said, like that kind of attitude is you're putting more hurdles in your way. You know what I'm saying? You're
Absolutely.
making it harder on yourself, literally.
for real. Yeah, because you're shunning things without even having known what it's gonna do. And the truth of the matter is, it's a hoarder's mentality. It's you know, a lack mentality. You know that there's not enough, and that I need to have the most, and that's not real. Like it's just not true. It's like if there was only but so much, it would have already ran out by now. And the fact that there's still things happening and companies are still existing and new things are popping up, that means that whatever this idea that there's something there's a scarcity, like things are running out or whatever, is like it's so nonsense. It's such a nonsense idea because we're seeing that constantly there are new ideas and there's new things popping up and those things are succeeding, and these old people who are trying to say it's not gonna like they're just mad. They're just mad because they know they're on their way out. They know that their mentality, their reign of whatever, it's not gonna reign forever. You know, there's gonna be a new crop of things that
And
start to come up.
also the attitude that someone could have is it needs to be updated.
Right.
Like your kind of way of like, okay, I'm one person, I can do this all on my own. Maybe however many years ago. I mean, obviously you probably haven't made it, but you got to change the way you think because things change all the time.
Absolutely.
There's no 100% fail-safe textbook way to do everything right now. Next week there'll be something different, or it'll get tweaked, or it'll be completely irrelevant a couple months from now.
That's very true, man. Like, just can't get stuck in your ways, man. And that's what through the things that we have done and through what I saw you doing when you early on were starting the YouTube channel and stuff. You know, again, you were making beats, then you started messing around with YouTube, and then from there now you've been talking with, what'd you say your mom was talking to you about? Was it you said writing books or
Oh yeah,
audio books or
yeah. So I have some other opportunities going on as to where I can start doing audio books for people or audio novels.
Ooh.
Because especially with the way things are now, a lot of people like to listen to stuff but still be able to do what they're doing. Say if you're driving, say if you're going for a jog. I mean, you can't really, it's not really recommended to run while reading a book.
Nah.
You might trip and fall and bust your shit, bleed all in your book, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
But people like to be active, or say you're at the gym working out, like doing stuff and having audio books. And when I first got pitched that, I thought it was a pretty cool idea because a lot of the videos on my channel is me narrating and doing recaps from shows or movies that I like. So I've already kind of been in shape to explain things. So I thought that was automatically a good idea, especially if any kind of work I'm going to do, I know there is at least a very decent market or consumers that would want that stuff. I'm not going to make something that I don't think nobody wants.
Right. And that's where you know, getting into knowing what you're good at and knowing that your voice, like you said, you've already been kind of training yourself in that element of, you know, reading a script, so to speak, or, you know, reading your notes and having things prepared and doing more of a newscaster sort of idea. So
Right.
you understand that then you just have to learn with the audiobooks and things about tone and like what's the best way to read the book. And depending on what's going on in the story or how the book is written is, there's a different way you might need to read it. And but that comes with time. And like you said, that voice acting, like, look, I want to give y'all a quick tip. If nobody else has heard of this thing, please, I want to give this information to anybody who needs to know, who has a good voice and wants to use it to potentially get some kind of roles or acting jobs or anything like that, doing voiceover. It's an app or website, I believe, called Fiverr, Fiverr. Look, I haven't myself used it, but I told a couple other people about it. Like, look, just get into it. It's a place where you can like basically trademark your voice and stuff and use it as a platform to look for voiceover jobs and, you know, anything like that. People can hire you to do voiceovers or narrating for them and whatnot. So yeah, man, what you're talking about, like that's a market that definitely is out there that's growing because, like you said, the more people get busy, the more they want things to do passively.
And then also the way things are is even years ago, it's like the days of people who manually go to a store to purchase something isn't as much.
Right.
There's still that core market of people who will, but the average person isn't gonna, oh, let's go get that new CD. Oh man, we're gonna have to go into the car, start the car, drive to the place, go into the place, wait in line to buy this one thing. By the time we get home, an hour and a half passed. Maybe I'll listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or going to the store to buy a hard copy of a book when you can just go on your tablet or your phone or your laptop or any other social media electronic device that you already look at all day anyways, guys.
Exactly.
And just hit download and then you got it.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much the standard more than ever.
Yeah, for real. It's growing every day. I mean, as we've seen watching what's happened during quarantine with Amazon, you know, he's like doubled his worth, you know. Bezos is out here.
You see those vans
caking.
everywhere.
Yeah, he's
Everywhere.
caking, man, you know. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. I was even looking to an opportunity to get to a delivery job with them, man. They pay good too, man. Like,
Me too.
you know, I think there's another thing too. Like we were talking about, as you're growing, trying to build something, and you know, have your own business and whatnot. It's like you got to understand about how you got to really be willing to grow in new ways, and stop looking at people who already have stuff and start trying to find ways to like pick apart how they got it and be like, oh, he probably just got it because of this, or he probably this kind of way. It's like,
Oh yeah, guys, update. Unfortunately, there are still haters.
Oh, yeah.
They're not all the way gone yet. They're still there.
no, 100%.
There might be more of them now. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's
I'm
kind of
sure
like when
there
you,
is.
like when you pull out the weeds, and then there's like
And
more
it
that
makes
just
it
keeps
easier
coming.
to hate when you watch somebody like a Jeff Bezos who's making as much money as he's making, and to find ways to define him and say he's this, that, and the third. And it's like, look, I mean, even people hated on and had things to say about Elon Musk and still do. I mean, look, the guy is maybe not all the way where you want to be at, but anybody who's trying to push limits and do something new and do something innovative and do something fresh, it's going to scare, like we were just saying, the people who are trying to hoard and hold on to what they think they own and that they've got it all figured out and they're the one. And it's like you feel like you're losing your footing, or you're losing some kind of like space in the community, or I don't know, you know. It's confusing because there's almost infinite opportunity now, and it's only going to grow as time goes on. And I think there are people who think that growth is going to stop somehow. Like at some point we're going to stop learning, we're going to stop doing things more than what we do. That's not possible. That's not even what the human brain does. Your brain wants to solve problems even when you don't want to solve them. It's doing it anyways.
That's a crazy thought for someone to think that I can't learn more or I
Yeah.
can't do more. Like I've already mastered everything. Wow.
And you know what it is? It's usually people who don't have much, you know, who think that way. It's people who aren't very business savvy, or aren't out here really building wealth or anything like that. And it's no offense. It's like it could be what was taught to you that way, but unfortunately, it doesn't change the fact of what's going on. Is that, yo, you can't hate on people who already have it and who are out here making it happen and who are billionaires and stuff, and then try to think that you're going to somehow acquire that wealth as well. It doesn't work like that, man. You've got to see people who are succeeding and doing great things and start trying to find ways to implement what they're doing to get it yourself.
Oh,
You know
yo,
what I'm
this
saying?
wasn't I'm not like in a rush, but are we allowed to cuss on here?
Man, you can say whatever
Oh,
the fuck you want,
I'm
man.
not gonna say I'm gonna cuss a whole lot on purpose. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, man, say whatever you need, man. Like this is live and raw, and I'm not, you know, we're not editing this. We're not doing much with changing anything when we do the Werds Illah podcast, because like we were talking about, I said it to you and I said it to the homie DeBaker, DBL, whatever he's gonna call. Hold tight for that one. He's probably got another AKA. But anyways,
Do I need to get a couple AKs?
you might need to, man.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
yeah, man, we here to just keep it raw, man, as much as we can, because, you know, I don't want to be on here just falling in the cracks, so to speak, and just being like what everybody else is, which in some ways we will, because, look, we're all in this planet together, so at some point you're going to bleed into everybody else's thoughts and ideas and whatnot, but overall, say whatever the fuck you want here on the Werds Illah podcast.
I like that, man. That's very professional. It's very welcoming. Yo,
Yes.
can I explain about one of the jobs that I had not too long ago?
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah, let the people know what you've been up to, man.
Yeah, man. So not too long ago, I did a job for one of my main music business connects up in Maryland.
Okay.
His name is Paperboy,
Oh, yeah.
aka
Right.
Manny Styles, aka probably some other stuff too. I'm really feeling the pressure now.
Oh, man.
He reached out because he gets a lot of work, and a lot of times he can't do it all because he runs a full-fledged studio, has a bunch of artists, all that other stuff.
Right.
So the job that he pitched to me was he wanted me to put a collage video, like a package video together for the field goal or the punt kicker in Duke college football.
Okay. Okay.
And that was already like, all right, cool. But actually, all I was really doing was doing some of my video editing, which I've been doing for a while, and I would consider myself pretty acceptable at.
Right.
So all I did was collage a bunch of this guy making field goals and punts, which was actually a pretty easy job. And I was on the clock making like $25 an hour.
Wow.
And I was literally just in my pajamas at home making $25 an hour. And I made about close to $1,000 in about 2 days.
Damn.
And I was chilling at home. And this is really crazy because who knows if it'll get used or something. But what I can say is, if this video ever got seen on TV, if this, punt kicker has like a package video, say he first gets into the NFL or something, if you see his highlights video, I probably made it.
That's tight, man. That's tight, man. That's always that's the goal, to get these little placements here and there and to start building those relationships, with people, because that's what I feel like we could have the opportunity to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've talked about it and discussed it in different ways at times, but yeah, man, like media companies, of all different things, like, again, all the different levels, from voiceovers to video editing to shooting video to, music, to doing graphic work, to, all these things that we've already been using and implementing. It's like, I feel like that's a market that, we can just keep expounding on and keep building on. And
we could be doing this stuff for like clients, like especially with like just with us. It's like, if you want us to shoot whatever your content is, say you open up a restaurant, say you're having a beauty pageant, say you're doing some street racing outside, say you're doing, you don't have to hit up no one else but us, because just us alone, cheap plug for ourselves, we have high quality cameras, we have lighting, we have camera accessories, we have green screens, we have several laptops with video editing software. I'm a music producer, DeBaker's a music producer. We could literally do the whole deal for someone, edit the video, do everything. Of course, you're gonna have to pay, and but we can literally do the whole job for someone. You don't have to be like, oh man, because the one thing I don't want to happen is if, say, we shot a video for someone and they're like, oh man, do you guys have any music, or hey, can you do any kind of, like, it would be so whack to tell them no.
Right.
So they're going to have to go somewhere else to get this one thing, when we can be like a one-stop shop and do everything for the person.
Yeah, which is why I said, we're always in the mode of growth, and through where we were to where we are now and where we want to go, we clearly know that there are things that we want to expound on, things we want to build on, and we're going to just keep doing that. It's like I said, it's ingrained in like everything we do, to like, you got to be moving. Like we were saying, I don't understand the concept of somebody who wants to sit still as if they've already basically got it all figured out. It's like, I say this all the time. I don't know where I saw it. Like, it's a phrase that I hear all the time. It's just like a good reminder. Don't die before you're dead. Like, if you're already giving up basically and saying like, there's nothing more I need to know, or I don't know where to go from here. Like, you get stuck. You're at a place where you're feeling down. You're not sure where your next move is. You've just been in a bad place. You're in a, especially there's a lot more people like that, I think, now, due to the quarantine and all these things that are going on. People are feeling down. Like, they're like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Like, everything's closed. And like, it's like, I don't have any money. Like, people are out of work. Like, so people are like, feeling like they don't have anything that they can do. And that's why it's important, like I said, right now, to find something and just keep nailing away at it. Like, and shorten your time spent on other things. Think about time management. Think about what you're really doing. Think about what you're really spending your energy on, because it's important, man. Like, that's one of those commodities like we talk about. You can't get back time. And what you're using with that time is going to dictate where you're going to go and what you're going to see in your life. So that's why with Diz here, me and him working all the time, is because I know that I'm going to rub off on him, and he knows he's going to rub off on me. That's why I started editing more videos. That's why I started doing certain things, because it's like you build an energy around people. And once there's a natural understanding of what's going on, I don't have to ask you to do something. You don't have to ask me to do something. It's just like, let's do this thing. or you do something and I show love, and vice versa. It's like when you have that, it's easier to take out the element of like, what am I going to do once I have something out? It's like, oh, I just tell him about it and him about it and that person, and we're all going to help each other to do parts to make it all work. Like, that's what, the point of all of this is. And doing this Werds Illah podcast, like I said, anybody who comes on here, like, yo, plug your stuff, man. Tell people about what you're working on. Tell people about what you're doing. Tell people about how much you've grown and what your dreams and aspirations are and what you've got planned. Like, because anybody who tries to come on this platform and try to like speak negatively, it's not going to happen. Number one, you're not going to get on here. You know what I'm saying? But if you did try to get on here and try to, the conversation goes towards some lane where you're trying to attempt to talk negatively about somebody or something, I'm cutting it off. Like, that's not what this is about. We're here to build. We're here to grow. We're here to, improve, to encourage.
Work hard.
All the good
be
stuff,
consistent.
Man. Absolutely. Consistency. That's
don't blame the world if you haven't made it.
Yeah.
Just keep working, man.
Just keep working, man. That's like in the Wolf of Wall Street, man, when he was like, man, your girlfriend left you, pick up the phone and dial. So all this, he was like, man, just work, man. Like, if you feeling bad, if this thing just hurt you, if somebody in your life just did you dirty, like, take that energy, turn it into something good. Like, be what the old alchemists were, basically. That's what this is. This is supreme alchemy. When you can take your life and the effects of your life and the circumstances and the different experiences you've had, the negative ones, and you can turn them into something good, man, you at a high level of self-mastery. You at a high level of operating as a human, because you don't care about what people say or your past or anything. You're like, nah, that happened, past tense. Mm-hmm. That means it's gone forever. That means the only way it exists is in my mind. I can say it doesn't exist tomorrow or right now. I can just let it go and keep pushing and keep moving and keep grinding and keep making new things. And yeah, so DIzz Da Rockstar, man, like, he's here and he's a prime example. He's a guy who, again, go to his channel if you haven't, like I said, and he said it early on, super obvious right now on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, make sure that you guys pay attention. He does a lot of stuff with wrestling. Like, let's get into a little bit of that, like the wrestling stuff, man. He's a top notch. If you're a fan of wrestling, you definitely can get your fix of all the different stuff, because I don't know everything, but I can watch a video from him and know a little bit more about what's going on with who and who's been winning and who's whatever and what pay-per-views are out. And
yeah, even with everything going on now, man, the content amount of wrestling is forever. You could sit on your butt all day, watch wrestling, and you still haven't seen it all. It comes on almost every day of the week. Like, there's a lot of content, and right. I've been having a lot of fun with that. There's a whole lot of things going on. I've been doing some gaming stuff.
Oh, gaming too.
I've been doing music, of course. I've been having a lot of fun. I have my series called the DIzz Cook Up.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I think last week I did episode 5. I've been listening to a lot of dark, weird, gothic, house-sounding stuff. Almost to where, like, if I was blasting the music and you were, like, gonna knock on my door, you would hear the music and be like, what the hell is going on right now?
Something bad could be happening in there. Somebody could be getting harmed.
There's that. Back to wrestling, it's been good. There's been a lot of cool storylines, if you're into it. The characters and stuff, it's really cool. A lot of betrayals, a lot of backstabbing, wow. a lot of good stuff, man.
Yeah, the good stuff that you need.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man. We were watching a little bit of it downstairs, man. Like I said, that's how we were talking about, like, these other companies, that are allowing for this new wave of, let's all work together. Let's make things work, because it's cool, like, watching it, just like how I've seen clips from the NBA. Like, they got all those screens inside the arena now, so you can see a bunch of people, like, live watching it from their house and stuff. So that's pretty dope, man. It's it's a new age, man. But these companies, like, the wrestling companies, they're trying to show resilience, and
people still want their sports entertainment, and you just got to think of different ways to still have, like, fans, even if they're not physically there.
Right.
And this is pretty much what they're doing, and it's a really good idea. And I mean, when you just look at the arenas, just the setup they have with all the screens and the lighting and the pyro, and it's pretty freaking cool. It's like a show.
Yeah. It only kind of adds to the arena in terms of, when you see all those screens lit up, it just adds to how crazy it is. Like, man, it was looking super bright. What was that we were watching the other night that you had, and I seen all the screens? What was?
Oh yeah, that was the Thunderdome.
Okay.
So at first they were, because of the quarantine, they were in Florida, which is like the worst place in the country almost.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And they were basically in a training center, which is basically almost not even really a glorified gym. Like it's small, it's dark, it's not really, there's no one there. So now for like a couple more weeks or so, they're in a legit arena.
Okay.
And they were able to, they put up like a couple, like I think it's like 10 or 20,000 screens.
Wow.
Laser shows, light shows. They have drones that fly over the arenas for like certain angle shots and stuff. They're super fancy with it.
That's correct. Yeah, I said it was bright, but I was like, of course. I mean, they got all the lights that they use for the staging alone, and then they've got all the screens that are lit up for everybody that's supposed to be in the audience. It was like,
it's really cool, man. Like if you're into that kind of thing, you see, you know, couples in front of the camera watching wrestling together, or it could be a dad holding his kid, and they're still into it. They're all trying to do their best they can to try to have fun doing something that they like to watch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unlike anything else, there already has been some fuck boys that have tried to ruin that.
Yeah.
Doing some dumb shit just because they know they're on camera and someone might be able to see them for 1 second. Just doing stupid shit, trying to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about some of the stuff that they've had, some of the people that have been on the screens doing some foul stuff. So, yeah, man, but that's, you know, that's the world we live in. You know, some people are trolls like we were talking about. It's just some people who can't, you know, just allow for other people to have their good time. You know, they always got to have something to say. They always got to try to come in and like be the party pooper and ruin things.
Yeah, man.
Just to do things. And it's people just need attention sometimes. I look at it like I feel sorry for those kinds of people, man, because I feel like, yo, if you have the time to do that and try to ruin something for other people, you already must be in a bad space.
Oh, yeah.
You've already got to be mad at yourself and not feeling good about something. And, you know, whether you try to lie and say it's not that and you just think it's funny or whatever, it's like, it's not. The fact that you would think that that is funny is showing me that you don't understand what's
something's
going
wrong
on
with
here,
you, man.
You know? But yeah. Aside from that, let's tap back into like that what you mentioned for a minute. The beat cookup videos. Like, I mean, that's a cool thing, man. Because we watched a bunch of stuff like that, like with Kenny Beats and stuff like that. So you know, you've been doing that, which is the next step that you were saying you want to get into that you've been working on is, you know, getting a Discord started and doing, you know, that live, you know, beat cookup and getting into that element, like.
Yeah, doing that kind of stuff has been fun because I've been a music producer since I was 17, and just finding different ways to be in a mood of when you're making your content, it just makes it more fun because the last thing I'm going to do is make a beat, you know, and show everyone how I made it and the beat's whack.
Right.
That's not going to work.
No.
So it adds like a little bit of like healthy pressure, and it's fun, you know, explaining, because it's like I'm making a beat from scratch and it could be whatever kind of genre maybe, but I'm also giving tips and tricks to help people. So maybe you might be someone that might know more than me actual music producer wise, but I might show you a couple little things where it's like, oh, the way he, you know, put that effect on that. I never think about it like that. Okay.
Right,
you know, or maybe you just decided to be a producer today. You don't know anything at all. Like you don't know how to assign a kick drum to the mixer channel. You don't know what a delay is, but you've heard it, you know what I'm saying? Or reverb, you don't know what nothing is.
Right.
So it can actually help people. So I'm having fun, I'm exercising, and I'm also trying to help someone else who may not know, or, you know, a go-to place to go to get some drums. Like say you just started, you don't have no drums, all the default sounds are flat and shitty and they're not good. So your beat's gonna already sound like shit because all the sounds you use are shit. I'm trying to help you avoid that.
Yeah, trying to avoid the shit.
Yeah, I don't want you to make 50 beats that suck just to start getting better. I can help you a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
Let's get you from the shit to the show. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
And then also, I've been seeing a lot online doing like the against the clock battles. I've been thinking about doing that, where there's different ways of doing it, but for the most part, it's like you start with a sound. Like say I find a piano. Once I know I like that piano, you start the clock, and I got 10 minutes to make a beat.
Yeah.
Some people do it in 5.
Yeah.
Some people, you don't get to start a beat at all. You hit the start and then start going through the sounds. There's different ways. That's some good, healthy workout to keep your stuff going. You know, to be in a fast-paced work environment, which you need to get used to. Like if say your friend comes over to do some music, or you have an actual client, they don't want to be in there for 4 hours and you trying to mess with this kick pattern the whole time. Like, they're going to get bored.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you need to learn to work fast. You know what I'm saying? Get your groove, know the kind of style that the artist likes.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're on point, you know, working fast, having things together, knowing shortcut keys so you're not manually trying to move this one note over that you kind of messed up and it takes you a whole minute to fix it real quick.
A whole minute.
You need to learn how to like work fast.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's good. Like you said, those challenges for yourself, and then we were talking about, obviously once you do that, the engagement you can have now with these people, so you can start to build a family, so to speak, an online family where now when you go on, you know, you're guaranteed, you know, 300, 400, 500 people that are going to come in and be watching you anytime you go on, and as long as you stay consistent and you let them know, like, every day of the week, this day I'm going on to my Discord, so making sure you come in, because on this day I'm doing this, and then on the next day I'm going to be doing that, and like, so if you want sound packs, I'll be there giving away sound packs, or I'll be what, like, the more you engage, the more you bring more people in, it's like the more chance you have.
Yeah, give people a reason to come see you and stick with you and be loyal to you.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, when you're saying, like, when you first log on, they're already waiting for me.
Exactly.
You know,
because
what I'm
you've established, okay, Fridays at 8 p.m. I'm going to be going live on my Discord, so if you want to come in and get some sound packs, I'll be there making beats and giving away sound packs, like. And so you promote that early on in the week. So on Monday you put out a promo and let people know, hey, this Friday, don't forget, if you want to get some sound packs, I'll be on Friday night. So come Friday night, like.
Yeah, you can have a schedule, like, you know, on one day we're gonna be making beats, of course, all day. On this day, I might just have a general talk with everyone that's watching the video in the chat, engage with people.
Yeah.
We don't have to actually make music, but we can be talking about music. We can be talking about business. We can talk about, you know, where your head is at as far as trying to be a content creator.
Yep.
People need stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Say you make, you know, 20 beats every single day. Well, you may not want to make a beat today. You might want to just find something music-wise, but not making it to where you're still keeping your brain going.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Or on this day, you know, we're going to be downloading stuff, looking through sounds, doing reviews and stuff. Or on this day, just anything.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, send me your beats and I'll hear them and I'll let you guys know what I think.
Yeah.
Different days could be different stuff. Like, just keep it fun. Keep it versatile. Have people excited to view your content.
Yep, like you said, you build that community of people where they already know, like, kind of what to expect, but then also have those moments where you throw them a curveball, like we were talking about, like watching some of these other people who they might just go on and they talk about mental health, or they go on and they talk about whatever it might be, you know, just to get a better connection with those people who are now following them, because now you're starting to carve out a more niche, you know, direct sort of community that, you know, the people that are there, you know, that they're loyal. So whether it's 300 or 400 people or 500, however many people it is, those people are loyal. So whether the numbers fluctuate and you start getting 1,000 people out of nowhere, and then one day it's back down to 300, it's like, at least I can depend on these 300. Then you can start to really
have at
know
least
them.
that solid base.
Yeah, and you can start to get to know them. Like, once they've signed up, now you've got their email, you've got their tag name, you've got, you know, you start to know them, who they really are. So now you can start to service them more directly, and you can start talking and saying their names during the Discord, like, yo, shouts out to so-and-so, man, me and him, we was talking about the other day about doing something. Or shouts out to so-and-so, he sent me this joint that he did the other day.
Oh,
That shit
yeah.
was like,
and that kind of stuff is good, because a lot of content creators, a lot of us are in the same boat. You know, a lot of times we're probably at home in our room,
Right.
or in our little studio, and we make beats all the time, edit videos all the time, probably not around a whole bunch of people too often all the time.
Right.
So when you're around someone that you feel like you can kind of click or relate to a little bit, that's just a good load off your shoulders, kind of calm your brain down a little bit, you know, because some people get antsy and they start getting weird when they're just doing the same thing all the time. Sometimes you need a little bit of something to go to.
yeah.
And that's something I'm definitely willing to talk to people about. And you might talk and engage with me and make me realize something that I wasn't even thinking about.
Exactly.
We could both benefit from it.
100%, man. And that's what I mean. Like, you build that community through the consistency of just doing what you already do, and, you know, not trying to put on a persona, not trying to reach too far this way or that way. It's like, whatever you're doing is a natural step towards something you're already gonna do. Like, it's not too far out to this place that it's like, oh, but DIzz don't really do that, or that's not what, what it's about. Like,
we've had talks like that. The best thing to do is, sounds old school, is keep it real.
Yeah.
So I think it would be kind of exhausting and kind of freaking whack if you're always trying to be this character that you never are, but you would always have to pretend to be that character.
Right.
Anytime you're in front of a camera, or anytime you're on live, or anytime you're around a bunch of people, to pretend to be so extra all the time, or the whole like I don't give a fuck, I'll just do whatever, who cares, that's gonna be whack. That's gonna bite you in the butt, and it's gonna be your fault.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Because that's the game we're in right now, yo. You got to keep it real, as you just said, because there's so much going on. You have to be able to filter out all of the nonsense, and also to, again, establish who you are. You need to carve out that lane where people know they come to you for this.
Yeah.
And when they come to you, they know that you're going to be this person and do these things. And,
Yeah.
you know, also just being genuine, like you said, showing that you're honest, that you're truthful, you're compassionate, you're helpful, you're courteous, you're considerate. Like, all these things will eventually just bleed over, and like eventually at some point you won't really have to be looking for supporters or followers or subscribers. Like, virtue of the people who already are with you, they'll tell people. So, and word of mouth will travel, you know, just by based on like somebody be like, yo, I follow so and so, man, I did this thing, man, he sent me this new sound pack and he sent me a shirt for free, and like these things people speak about with their friends and their family, and we all do, you know what I'm saying? Something that you get or you did with somebody, you want to share it with people. So when you do, that's the easiest. Like, word of mouth is still the biggest way that businesses grow and people get better with their branding. Is like, people I already know, people you already know, if they support me, they'll tell people they know, and vice versa. It'll just keep going on and build and build and build. So it's like,
I think the payoff feels better. So if you were true to yourself and everyone loves you for it, that feels way better than you put in the face and the funk on, and then, oh man, 1 million people love me, but that's not even me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, even younger audiences, they can detect bullshit.
100%.
So it's just safer and better and real to keep it real with yourself, and not try to act like you're this super over the top person when you're boring as fuck.
When you're whack.
Yeah, and it's if you're whack, then you're whack, but don't pretend like you're you're the most charismatic person in existence, when you're not.
Whackness can be fixed, man. You know what I'm saying? through
that can be helped
through dedicated work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing who you are, what you do best, and improving on that every day. You know, like we were saying, and like you said too, like, you're not trying to wear yourself too thin. It's like you're very aware of like how much it is you need to put into certain things. You know, the energy needs to go where it needs to go, and like how we've had conversations about this whole podcast format, and how this is meant to be a more long format, you know what I'm saying? Because this is talk. This is not such
it's a documented conversation.
Yeah, basically, and it's about opening up to new ideas, and you know, this is supposed to be this way. So when you do this, it's this way. But when you do YouTube videos, it's another format. And when you do, you know, a music video, it's another. It's like everything deserves its right energy and time and format, because it needs to. It creates a certain environment for people, and we've all noticed it because we've listened enough, we've watched enough, when we kind of see how each thing stands for its own sort of thing. And so it's good to have that separation to where it makes the content seem more exclusive. So when you do things that only go here, or only in this way, or only like that, then it makes people you start to carve out more specific lanes.
And it's cool too for everything to kind of have its own little place, because maybe someone doesn't like all your content. Maybe they only like your YouTube videos. Maybe they only like your Instagram posts.
Right.
Maybe they only like your podcast. If they were all exactly pretty much the same, that fan is going to love your shit, but then you'll lose the fans because they don't like none of that shit, because it's all the same. You didn't make anything that they feel like they can fuck with.
Yeah, but just to go along with that, like we were just saying, once you're being yourself all the time, it's never like you're trying to do these other things. It's just like, oh, that's him doing that.
Yeah,
like we were saying.
Say our following gets big enough and someone actually sees us out in the streets, right? If you pretend to be this super raw guy, like, yo, I walked up to DIzz, I said, what's up, man? And he sounded just so flat and boring. Like, I thought this guy just looked like him, because that's no way it was him. Like, you don't want that. Like, that fan would feel like they got used and robbed. Like, oh, I mean, I really like DIzz. I met him, and he's just a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't even look me in my face.
And
he
like
looked like
saying,
he was shaking. He was scared. He looked like a bitch.
I look at it too. I look at it too like how it's like it's multiple different businesses. You know what I mean? Like, what you would do if you had a restaurant would not be what you would do on a podcast. You know, like these things can all go together. It's like how we have, you know, Nori being the rapper plus the podcaster, plus he probably has a clothing line, plus he's probably done a deal for some liquor or whatever. It's like he understands that each business needs to have its separation because he doesn't want to be Nori the rapper while he's doing the liquor. He wants to just be the guy who's doing the liquor.
Yeah.
Not Nori the rapper doing liquor. He just wants
Yeah.
like it needs to be understood like it's him still, but
Yeah.
don't call him that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
allow
it's
him to
it's
have
yeah,
those
we
spaces.
signed you for your personality, not like we don't want you to be the rapper talking that shit with our bottles in your hand. Like maybe a different kind of approach.
A different
to
approach,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, show some personality, but we don't want you to be exactly the same as. And I can understand that.
Yeah.
Because also it almost seems like you're just trying to be one person going through all these avenues and get all these several checks when you're not even really trying to have any kind of difference.
Exactly. And people love to box you into that. They see you doing one thing and that's how you gain your notoriety. And then they're like, okay, so every time you do everything after that, it's like, oh yeah, so-and-so, the rapper is doing this other thing. And it's like, bro, no, like I'm just this guy who's doing this other thing now. Like the fact that you keep trying to tell me I'm a rapper and I'm doing this thing is like, you're trying to tell me I'm just that thing. And oh, look at him trying to do this thing. It's like, no, it's not me trying. I'm doing that thing. That me making furniture or me making this clothing or me making what? No, that's me making that. That's not the rapper who's just trying to do this other thing. It's like, no, I was going to do this, but rapping was the thing that clicked, or furniture or whatever the thing is that clicks for me. And then they see you do something else. They're like, the guy who makes that is now trying to rap. And it's like, no, it's just the guy who's rapping now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, being able to like put those different hats on, doing different things, I think that's what literally gives you like that power as a creator.
Yeah.
Like if all you did was just one thing and you're super good at it, that's cool. But if you have versatility, I think that makes you like more evolved as a person and a content creator. Like when I told you about that job that I did, the college football editing video, there was some other stuff that was in the works. It didn't go through. Like I had a potential job where, as you said earlier, since I already like wrestling and stuff, there was this job where I was actually going to do commentary, like live commentary for MMA fights. I was actually going to be doing commentary. Yeah, like that would have been so me, so fun. I already have the personality. I know all the moves almost. Right. And on top of that, they also wanted me to be in the MMA where like you would have that person that sits in like that director's chair that kind of is on a crane and it kind of goes around the whole ring and stuff. Yeah. They wanted me to be in that and actually filming and shooting those really close shots where it seems like I'm literally right on top of them, or I'm like in the ring with them. There was that job.
Yeah, man.
And then like the different editing jobs, like as far as the content, like, hey, you want me to shoot this video for you? I may not care about what it actually is, but if you want me to shoot this for you and I'm going to get paid, and if you like the job I do, you're going to tell all your people, because people who run small businesses, that's a pretty big market of people. So especially if we're all kind of on the same level, like say you don't have $500,000 to give someone for a video, say you just have a couple hundred or a couple thousand, that, you know, I could be the best that you got within your price range.
Right. And just, again, like we were talking about, once you build that catalog up and people have seen that you've done this multiple times and they can start to see the work and how it looks and how it's improved and how many more followers you have, like that's when you gain leverage and you can renegotiate and you can get better deals. And so that's what, again, we're always on that idea of like, yo, where is an opportunity, not where is an opportunity, but how can I just keep this grind up enough to where the opportunities kind of find me? And through the virtue of me working enough and getting as much done on my own, that people who, like I said, come to me, they have to enhance what I'm doing already. If you're not going to make what I'm already able to do on my own better, then there's no reason for us to work. If you're just going to come in and just be another part of what I'm doing, but you're not going to help expand my mind or expand my growth of my business or anything like that, then there's no reason for you to play a role. And also, if you're going to play a role, you don't need to play multiple roles. If I feel like your role is that you can really do this for me really good, then that's what I need. And if you want to keep telling, but I make beats, and I'm just like, yo, look, cool, but I'm telling you, that's not what I need from you. Yeah. No disrespect, but I need this from you, and I know you can do it. So please, can we have that be our business?
Yeah, it's like if you do like almost everything, like say you do artwork and video editing and all this stuff, but it's like if the customer knows, okay, I feel you, you're versatile, but I only want you to shoot the video, you should be like, okay, cool. Don't push it to where they start to get like turned off. Like, yeah,
man, take the opportunity for what it is.
Maybe next time they'll want your beats. Maybe next time they'll want you to do artwork. Maybe next time they'll want
that introduction, and that relationship should be bigger than what you think you might get on that first interaction with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Like if you're able to build that trust and that understanding with somebody, then like you said, maybe the next time they'll want more from you, or maybe they'll introduce you to somebody else that wants that thing from you, like because they're like, yo, he's a good dude, man. I already had somebody lined up for the thing that they told me about, but I know you do this, so yo, hit him up because he does that too. So again,
yeah, that first time you do business, especially if you're doing something for someone that's serious, like if I'm hitting you up for the first time and you're going to record something for my business that I've already, broke my back on and put all this blood and sweat into it, you might have luckily been my choice because my main person wasn't available. So when I meet you for the first time, I asked you for my video. I don't want you to try to plug all the shit you can do. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit you up next time and let me ask you what else can you do. Don't list everything you can do. Let me ask.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm about to record this video. Oh yeah, man, okay, I really appreciate you doing the shoot now. I need someone to make some background music. Oh, I actually happen to make that. See how that approach is a little different? Like it seems more natural and not forced.
Yeah.
People can tell when they're being forced. You're gonna make them feel uncomfortable, and then it's your fault when they delete you off social media. Your number gets blocked. You find the business card that you gave them crumpled up next to their car on the ground. It's kind of your fault.
Man. With spit on it.
Yeah, and like they put their blunt out on it. Like I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They wipe their mouth and shit on it. I don't know, man. It's just, there's a good way to try to put your name out there, but not be pushy. Because I think, unfortunately, people are probably more used to getting pushy people, and people get uncomfortable really quick.
Yeah.
People don't like that shit.
No, they don't, man. Like you said, you take what you get with somebody, and again, make that interaction and that relationship be something that you cultivate. You know what I'm saying? So when you see them put out the thing that you had your part in, like whether you did the background music or you shot the video on or whatever, just save it or share it and be like, yo, here's my man, he did this thing, I shot the video for him, and so, and then like even name the people who edited it and whoever did their part. So share it so that you can show to people like, yo, I don't mind having to only play this part, because now we got this product. So I did my part, that guy did his part, he did his part, and now here's this thing. It's like, cool, now I'm going to share it so that now it's just showing love and showing support, and it'll rub off. It'll
if you only
grow.
did one part, you're still in there as a
Yeah,
whole.
exactly.
And if your work is good, that's going to speak for itself anyway.
Right. 100%. That's why I said get in there, do your best to do what you do when you do whatever it is. And that's why I said, like, with what you're doing and this Ugertone thing that you're involved in, that to me is like a good look to, like, you were talking about that cross branding, and that they're probably not the biggest, but you understand that it's like, it's the relationship, it's the reaching out, it's just letting people know, like, hey, here I am, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm over here, I'm doing this thing too, and so,
and I don't know for a fact, but once I gave them my information, like my social media stuff, they might have checked me out before hitting me back with the official, like, okay, here's the code, blah blah blah. Because I mean, I don't know how big they are, but apparently they make instruments for people to make music on. Yeah. So they may not be like the real social media in front of the camera being funny, or they might just be on that grind making kits and sounds.
Yeah. And that's a tip that I learned that I haven't really 100% utilized yet. But again, it's like there's elements of what you might need to be doing that you don't have the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really do it right now. Like, there might be things you need to do, like as far as like trying to promote and market yourself, but it's like, well, maybe I don't have the following yet. Like, I'm building it, but I need to get to a bigger place. So maybe I pay this social influencer, maybe I pay this person who's already got a good, decent following, and I do something for them, or I pay them to share one of my posts or whatever, and then now I'm out to some of their followers, and so now people are seeing some of my stuff through that. So it's like, sometimes there's elements you got to learn to just, like, okay, I got to sacrifice, so to speak, because you know how we are, like, I in the talks we have about sustaining yourself and being more in-house and having more of a insulation, so you kind of do almost every element. Like, you don't really have to go out to too many people. It's like, yeah, that's cool, and like I'm working, and we're both working on the ideas of doing promo and marketing. We try our best to work on sharing our stuff and being on social media, being active, but sometimes it's like you might have to again pay this other bigger entity that has a better following and has a better way to get you to more people. So it's like, sometimes you just gotta branch out, try different things, and put yourself in uncomfortable places sometimes, so you can get that next thing.
And it could be a ball rolling for me. It's like when I make the cook up video, kind of going through like explaining all the sounds, or going through the ones I like, don't like, and I make some music out of it. And if I'm doing a cook up, I'm going to be talking and narrating and give my opinions and be funny and all that stuff. They could see it. They might want me to go to their actual studio and be the person that's the face of some new project they got coming out. You know, like say like, hey, it's DIzz Da Rockstar. I'm being like a host for the new Yugertone program or website or new event. Like I could be the face of that. They might want me. And then once that happens, who knows what else? Other websites, oh, who's that one guy that you had? You know, we want him to be promoting our stuff. Like, we like his personality, or I could look the part, or whatever. It goes back to what we were saying about just being yourself. Yep. And also, if you can, show some personality, guys.
Yeah, be charismatic, man.
Be funny, man.
Like, there's a difference between putting on a persona and turning up your personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing what you are and just trying to embellish slightly on what you already are. But there's some people, like you said, that are literally like, you could tell like that person that they are on camera and whatever, you see them outside, it's like that's not even close to who they are. Like it's worlds apart. Like it's almost like they literally are putting on a costume. You know what I mean? And that's what you don't want. You don't want to look like
they put on a costume.
You don't want to look like a caricature of yourself. You don't want to look like those drawings you used to be able to go down to the beach and they should draw your head extra big and like accentuate your ear or your nose, whatever's
your
like
nose is extra long from the front.
Exactly, from the front. Like that type of like you don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Because again,
or if you're doing something for someone, if you're being, you know, our normal selves, being really outgoing and colorful, whatever word you want to use for a good personality,
right?
The person that you're doing work for, they might want you to be a little more subtle, you know. But if anything, show that you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want me to hit off, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I will be almost default voice broadcast explainer if you want me to.
But that's the beauty of when you put out enough content that shows these different elements of your time when you kind of are cool narrating and you're doing this kind of more monotone sort of voice, and then when you're more excited because you're playing a video game or whatever, you're showing that personality in that way. It's like that gives them a chance to, like, when they hit you up and there's an offer or something they want from you, whatever, them to be like, they can revert to your page and tell you like, hey, like when you did that one video and you were talking like that, we want that sort of energy.
Exactly.
When you do. So now it gives you an opportunity to, like, I've already basically been showing people what I can do. So when they come to me, we don't have to have a whole long drawn out conversation about what you want from me. You can literally just reference something I've already done and it'll make it easier for us to get the work done.
And that goes with what you were saying about having your work documented, because that way, what you just said is, if someone's kind of possibly debating on giving you a chance, they can go like, hey, the way your emotion is when you did The Walking Dead, can you be kind of like that?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, you know, when you and your boys did Power, y'all were just talking that shit, being goofy, being assholes. We want that.
Yeah.
Like being able to, they can literally click on it and show you what they want from you.
Yep.
Because you got the catalog.
Your documentation becomes your promotion, your marketing, because now who you are in those videos. And the different elements of what you are capable of and where you're able to go and the charisma and your person, it's all shown there. So now this documentation that you've been using to just document in your eyes, if you just get into that mindset of I'm just trying to document stuff, all of your personality and who you are is going to come through in these videos because you're just showing naturally who you are.
Absolutely.
So now, like I said, you've kind of done half the battle for yourself already. Now people can just go to these sites and these places where you put out your content and they can see what they're going to get from you. So now when somebody comes to you, like I said, there doesn't have to be too much confusion. We're not like guessing what the other one's going to say or do. It's like, I've watched you enough and you've watched me enough and you've seen a pattern of who I am. So we can get the work done easier.
And
now.
You can also squash your ego. You don't have to like oversell your stuff, because I watch a lot of your stuff. I already know what you're about. You know what I'm saying? I already have an idea pretty clearly of who you are, what kind of work you do, personality wise, where your mindset is.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, oh man, you seem talented, but personality wise, we wouldn't click. I could tell it's not going to work. So
the ability to, like I said, just keep showing the different facets of what you're capable of, and you know, not being boxed into doing one thing or another, or only showing these aspects of yourself. And that's what hyper realism, like it's overdone. People are trying so hard, and you can tell like it's not really what they are. And that's the problem we need to get away from. Social media like created a unfortunate world for us, for some people, that's still existing, where we're like constantly again trying to like battle each other for who's the coolest and who knows the most. And it's like that shit doesn't work out in the long run. You know, again, there's a time and place for everything. And again, to act as if you know everything, you're dead already to me. Like that's not, because nothing
already
ever
lost, man.
Yeah, everything's never gonna be the same. It's always gonna be new things happening, new ideas, new ways to do things. And if you're falling behind because you're afraid of it, again, you can't be mad when you lose out. You know, because people are going to keep moving forward. Everything is ramping up. Time is moving faster. There's more things happening, more and more every day. There's more content being created. And it doesn't mean that it's lessening anybody. It means that there's a bigger pool to search from. So now, the better you are at what you do and the more consistent you are, the easier it is to get things done. You know what I'm saying? So
and also those people with those kind of bad personalities feeling like, oh, I already did everything, or I feel like I'm better than everyone when you're not better than anyone. Those are the people who lose friends, because if there's 100%. People like literally like you and me, with us being very motivated and trying to work hard, if we have people around us that are just like sludge, like it's like walking in quicksand or something,
right?
You're the kind of friend that I might message once in a while, and that might be it. The whole hanging out, you wanting to be around me, even explaining to you what I'm up to, I feel like it's probably going to go in one ear out the other, or you'll be that person that's trying to like chop my shit apart and trying to suggest all this stuff. Like, your 2 cents is good if I ask for it, and sometimes your 2 cents is good as who it comes from. If you're established and you're awesome and you tell me, oh yeah, be pretty good, man, but hey, can I tell you something real quick? Maybe next time you should try blah blah blah. That's way appreciated more than someone, oh yeah, man, well, you know, I'm still trying right now, but you, man, you should try to do this. You should not do this. You hear like the difference in that?
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that second person.
No, I don't want information from people who are not actively doing more. Like, it's like, what would I get out of that? What would I need information from somebody who's in the same place as me? Not that we can't, you know, not that I'm better than you or you're less than me or anything of that nature. It's just like, again, it's a natural thing. Like, you want to succeed, you go and you talk with and you get around with and you engage with those who are already winning in that thing that you want to win in, you know, and you support those people and you show love to those people and you appreciate them and you prop them up, because, you know, whether or not it works or not, somebody else might be watching. So whether or not that person you're doing that with shows it back to you, there could be other people watching how you do that and be like, they want somebody like you around. So they'll come around and want to be around you. And, you know, yeah, man, we're coming up close to an hour here, guys. And this is about the cutoff time. We could keep going. Me and DIzz do this all the time, man.
Oh God,
We've got on the phone and talked for hours, and you know, look back and be like, damn, we was just talking on the phone for like 2.5 hours.
Damn, we should have recorded that.
I know we should have recorded that shit, man. But now we did.
There
you
we
know.
go.
So again, man, this is a guest appearance from the good brother, my homie right here, DIzz Da Rockstar of Super Obvious on YouTube. Again, yet again, please go to Super Obvious on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications button. Make sure y'all prepared when he puts out content. He's putting out content all the time, guys. Like all the time. Man. Every week, several times a week. So, you know, pay attention if you're a wrestling fan, if you're into beats and production, if you're into TV shows like Power or Walking Dead or any of those things, man.
I'm also a part-time gamer.
Yeah, gaming.
You know what I'm saying?
Look him up, man. And yeah, is there anything you want to leave the people with before you get out of here?
Wow, man, I could repeat all that.
Yeah,
I think you pretty much nailed it already.
All right.
But yeah, to be DIzz Da Rockstar, Mr. Werds Illah. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna do this more often, man. Again, every month I'm gonna have special guests, so I think there'll be one more this month before we get out of here in September. Again, me and the homie DeBaker, episode 1. If you haven't already, go check that out. Called AKA Extravaganza. It was a short episode. We're gonna get longer, get some better content to put into there. We're looking into, like, you know, a soundboard to get some sound effects and things of that nature. So yeah, man. But in the meantime, between time, I appreciate y'all, man. And you can listen to this anywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what it is. It's Werds Illah, the Werds Illah podcast. We out of here.
Have a nice day.
Peace.